Oh, hey there, Clear Lake peeps. Ross England here with Clear Lake Guide Service, giving you our fishing report for this week. The week ending, well, we're cheating a little bit. Today's Wednesday the 21st. But I know there's some kayakers who are getting out there this week, and they've got a tournament Friday and Saturday, so I'm posting it a little bit early. Who knows, I may slap another one out come Friday too, but we fished a couple of days over the weekend, and the fishing's still good. Let's talk about conditions first of all. Firstly, water temperatures kind of varied between 80 to today we saw 83, I'll call it 82.7, 82.8, something like that. So warm water. It started out a little bit cooler the first part of this week with some cooler temperatures, but it has obviously heated up. Water clarity is pretty good. One of the places we caught fish on today, we could actually see a bait in 6 feet of water, which was encouraging. Now, you have to keep in mind this is Clear Lake, so that's 6 feet of water clarity. Last week when I was in the same area, it was 2 feet of water. So it changes, moves around. A big part of it is just the wind, which, by the way, Clear Lake being Clear Lake, I really don't like shooting these videos this way. I'd rather do it in the boat out on the water. But we went down through the Narrows this morning. It was breezy down there. We were there for a half an hour, 45 minutes. The wind got up to 1.5 foot whitecaps, so we thought, okay, let's bail out of there. Came back up through the Narrows, got back up and started fishing some of the Narrows area part of the upper end, and we looked up and there it came. You know, it was nice calm water, but you could see looking over towards Rodman Slough, here come the whitecaps. And within about 20 minutes, we had whitecaps that were 2-footers conservatively, and it's just going to get worse this afternoon. So, apologize for having to shoot this on the deck of my camper. So, we talked about the conditions. Weeds are still there. Watercolor is anywhere from 1 foot to, as I said, 5 to 6 feet, depending on where you are, and that changes daily, and sometimes it might change during the day. We talked about the water temperature. We caught fish this week mostly on topwater, whether it be a frog or a popper or a walking bait or a buzzing bait. We just didn't spend a whole lot of time fishing with plastics bouncing on the bottom. The conditions were good most of the days, so we went out and we went after a bunch of topwater fish, and they cooperated. Jim had a couple of really good days this week, which was great. He doesn't get that many chances to get out and fish, so it was nice to see him have a couple of good days. We kind of fished just the conditions, you know, where we could fish calm, you know, in relatively calm water. So, oh, yeah, I whacked about a 12-pound channel cat on a chatterbait this morning, so that was our best fish today. Most of the fish are pretty healthy. They're, you know, 2.5 to 3 pounds. Let me jump up to what's going on this week. We've got Friday and Saturday. I don't know where they're going out of. I don't know what their process is, but there's a kayak tournament that I'm being told anywhere from 60 to 70 boats, kayaks, for Friday and Saturday. Don't know where they're doing their weigh-in. Probably contact Lakeport Bait and Tackle. Dave over there can probably give you all the information that you want to know if you want to go watch the weigh-in or anything to do with the tournament. They've got they're, I think, in charge of some of the raffles and it'll probably be a pretty good time. I don't know where they're doing it. They may be doing it at Skylark for all I know. But that's the only thing that's going on this weekend. Hopefully the wind kind of behaves so those folks can have a good tournament. We saw a couple people fishing out around us today, and it was not looking fun. So they've kind of got a tough road to hoe sometimes, but it can sure be fun fishing that way. Caught one crappie by accident this week. Did catch a few wormfish. There's just not a lot of fishing pressure, so and that's kind of normal for once you start getting into the tail end of August. We're just a little past the middle of August right now, so it's looking like September. If we get some cooler weather rolling in, which you never know about this place. I mean, it could turn on and be 104 degrees every day from this point forward, but the reality is it's been a cooler summer than normal. So right now the bait fish are just all over the place. There's not a bunch of them that I've seen that are up really shallow. They're kind of off the shore a little bit. They're hanging off in weeds or hanging around docks and whatnot. So chances are really good that if you see a pretty good school of bait fish somewhere hanging around some kind of cover or vegetation, there's a fish on it. Can't say that you're going to catch a lot of fish on it, but we've been to some weed mat areas that we've seen, especially midday, middle of the afternoon. We've seen, activity, fish busting, chasing, one here, one there. And then you can go into areas where you don't see any of that at all, but you can still catch fish. So I think the jig bite has slowed down a little bit. But I also think that there's fish that are starting to move back up on some of this shallower structure in the 15 to 20 foot range. So I think you got two choices. Fish vegetation really shallow, whether it be a flip bite or fishing shallow weeds, or move out, fish docks, or third possibility, just fish structure. Get out in 15 to 20 feet of water. Haven't really seen a whole lot of activity on deep diving crankbaits yet, but that should start at any time, as well as the LB 500 bites should get started here pretty soon. It's always a really good fall thing. So conditions are setting up to look like it's going to be a really good September. August is really starting to, the tail end of this month has really been looking good. So get out there and fish. Remember, there's going to be a lot of weekends coming up in September and October that have some pretty significant tournaments. Just as another reminder, the Bob's Marine tournament was postponed until next year. Any of you that had any interest in fishing that event, make sure you get a hold of Bob's Marine and understand what's going on there. So I'm going to call that for today. We'll see if we can get another report out over the weekend, but don't count on it. I'll probably catch up with you next week. Thanks. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Clear Lake Guide Service, YouTube, Facebook, and on the web. Thanks. We'll talk to you later. And, P.S. Caleb was here this weekend. He had a pretty good Monday morning. We got that little goober on some fish. Good job, Caleb. You hooked him on your own. Well done. We'll see ya.